Randy, to me, as an alderman, I think where you show your merit, so to speak, is when the mayor is asking you to serve on several different committees, and then you're actually not just sitting on the committee or heading the committee, but making things happen, which we've been discussing stuff that you've made happen. But I think in my opinion, one of the biggest challenges the city faces is development. And you've been put in charge of the central business district. I've been at a few of the meetings. I've asked to sit in some of the initial questioning and all. Can you talk about what you're leading up for the central business district?
The thing about development is it always happens. It doesn't happen in a linear fashion, right? It happens sort of in fits and starts. There's periods where there'll be a lot of development activity and periods where it's relatively quiet. And some of that's driven by aging infrastructure, things that are buildings that are becoming obsolete, trends in business. The easiest one to look at for Lake Forest is trends in banking. It used to be a discussion with every election of, why do we have so many banks, right? That was always the big thing. Oh, we don't need more banks. The issue now is that we have certain businesses that are disappearing from our central business district. So let's look at banking. It's got a huge Northern Trust bank building that is almost empty. I mean, a lot of the things they used to do there aren't done there anymore. The Midwest Bank is almost empty. If you take a walk from the Deer Path Inn down Bank Lane to Westminster and just look on each side of the street, you see some remarkable things. You see an empty gas station lot. You see an obsolete mixed-use residential business across the street from the Northern Trust on Bank Lane that has some issues. You see a lot of properties that are going to be redeveloped. I mean, they just are, because they're coming to end of life. And a lot of empty properties, the building where Subway is on Oakwood, that is currently in flux. What I'm doing on Central Business District Working Group is we're trying to look at these potential developments that are going to happen within the next 10 years and try to find a general policy approach to how that redevelopment can occur in a way that enhances the city, that improves some of our infrastructure problems, that improves, the walkability of the central business district, the accessibility of the central business district, while maintaining sort of the historic and architectural character of the central business district. So what we're looking at is creating a policy statement, basically, that says this is how we envision this developing. And if we are successful in shepherding this process, we will end up with an enhanced central business district that amplifies all of the strengths and eliminates some of the weaknesses. But we're not doing development. That's not really what the city does. In other words, if there's a private building that's going to be torn down, you've got a property owner who has certain rights to redevelopment. You're going to have developers who come in with proposals. But if we create a general concept of how the city wants to see it developed and gives guidelines to property owners and developers, this can evolve in a way that will enhance the city 10 to 15 years from now. That's really what we're looking at. People say, oh, well, the people on this committee, they just want rampant development or whatever. No, it's quite the opposite, actually. What we are interested in is controlled development. We acknowledge that there will be substantial development in the central business district in the next 10 years. There will be, whether we like it or not, there will be. So the question is, how do we manage that? And how do we, sort of get the information out to interested parties to say, hey, this is the direction we would like you to go, so that there's some uniformity to the overall development.